Bitcoin uses a massive amount of resources in the United States.
I'm not surprised. I mean, this has been a concern with it from the beginning. That's one power hungry laptop that somebody won't turn off. But
Hello, how the tech are you? This is our weekly tech show on Echoplex Media. I'm historian Matt, and I'm a co-producer here and one of the hosts, and we're going to jump straight into our stories for today. So my first story, we talked about cryptocurrency and before, so this one's on Bitcoin. Bitcoin uses a massive amount of resources in the United States. This is talking about cryptocurrency mining operations, not specifically Bitcoin, but it's probably mostly Bitcoin. You can mine all sorts of different cryptocurrencies, but basically large-scale cryptocurrency mining operations in the US now consume over 2% of all the electricity produced in the US. And that's not a small amount. Most cryptocurrency mining has moved to these large operations with specialized hardware. So it makes it easier to figure out like how much is actually being used. There's, some small crypto miners out there, but they're not nearly as much of the overall mining in general from what we can tell, at least in the US. And so one estimate is there could be anywhere from 25 to 91 terawatt hours used for cryptocurrency mining. I think that was last year. The range is due to some uncertainty with how it was calculated, but the low end range means that crypto mining consumes as much electricity as Utah, the entire state of Utah. These researchers also found there was like 137 crypto mining facilities in the US. Only 101 actually returned answers to power consumption questions, and from those they did some calculations and found out that that the 101, not including the rest, the 26 that didn't respond, those 101 used 2.3% of all power in the US. And what this all means is there's likely some fossil fuel power plants out there that could be retired if not for the power used by these crypto mines. What do you think, Dave? That doesn't endear you to it.
I'm not surprised. I mean, this has been a concern with it from the beginning. Well, not from the very beginning. It's not enough people were interested in it at the very, very beginning. But once it started to get popular, this is a big concern because it's energy intensive.
Yeah.
You have to solve these complex problems, and that takes compute power, and computers run on electricity. So even these, what are they? They're using ASICs, is that right?
Yeah, that's the specialized hardware is ASICs. Yeah.
Those are more efficient, but I would assume that just means that people would maybe install more of them and just use the same amount of power that they would otherwise use to mine more crypto. And so it doesn't reduce
pretty much, and you get a kind of a race to the bottom kind of thing, right?
Right.
As everybody else is putting in ASICs, you have to use ASICs and still use the same amount of power.
Right.
Overall. Now, if you read the article, you'll see there's some caveats to this, like some places they're just using like, I don't know, hydropower or something. So they're using green or non-carbon energy sources, in some places. In one case they talked about somebody who was directly connected to a nuclear power plant. So, and then I don't know if it was that one or another one that had a big connection to the power plant, but they would, if there's like too much demand on the grid, they were able to they had things in place where they can shut down their mine to, allow to not use the power when it's most needed. So it kind of levels out the usage, or level out demand of power in some places. So that's good-ish, but still not great.
Yeah, I don't know. I think whoever thought this out didn't think it out as well as they could have. I think they were like, "Oh, let's just do this." And he was like, "Oh, it takes well." But at the beginning, like a lot of people got a crypto by just like leaving a laptop on overnight or whatever. So I was when you were talking about it, I was going to make a joke. I'd be like, "That's one power hungry laptop that somebody won't turn off." But yeah, I mean,
not one laptop.
as long as there's basically a profit margin between what you're spending on the electricity and the other facilities and what you make from the coin, from the crypto, people are just always going to do this.
Yeah, and I'm actually surprised there's profit since the US, not like super expensive electricity, but still like more expensive than say China, There was at one point a big move to move everything to China, but I'm sure there's other places like Russia that, because I mean, China's kind of pseudo banned any cryptocurrencies. / people are getting around it, but it's kind of iffy on how strongly that's happening. But a lot of it's moved over, probably moved to other places. I assume like India and Russia probably also have low power prices and could take over.
We'll see what happens here, because it's like as more and more of it gets mined, it gets more and more difficult to mine it. So at some point it's going to flip. Yeah. And then we're going to see just a lot of ASICs on eBay, like a lot of ASICs on eBay.
Like you can't use them for anything else. They're ASICs, right?
Can't give them away. Can't shoot them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, that's disheartening. And we had in the past talked about some of these moving to proof of stake, but then you have to just already have the stuff. You have to already have the cryptocurrency. It's a problem
with equality, right? Yeah. The people that have the most of that coin can move the market. They'll have control over the whole system. But
it almost became the system that they were complaining about. That they
really.
Did it just turn into capitalism?
Well, it was always capitalism, but somehow it was supposed to be different. But it really was always capitalism.
But I mean, the proof of stake is like literally just I have money and it makes money.
Thank you for tuning in to How the Tech Are You? We do this show every week, and we put it out into 3 segments on YouTube, and we also put it out as a podcast. If you'd like that you can find that at echoplexmedia.com, along with all our other shows. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll have a recommended video here on the screen for you to check out next.